It's me, Chuckle, on County Kerry.
Hey, it's great to be back, and C-O-C-K, that's not good.
Ladies and gentlemen, please
Thank
make
you.
some noise for a man who's been told the jokes he's been doing about the Israel-Palestine conflict aren't that funny, so he's going to limit himself to one tonight. It's your host, Jim O'Callaghan! Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Chuckle on County Kerry, Tralee's only and therefore best open mic comedy night. If it's your first time here or even if you've been here before, come in, ladies and gents. Pretty basic. If you look up on stage and you see some comic and you think I can do better than him, you can do two things. First of all, go fuck yourself. And then secondly, you can DM me at Chuckle on County Kerry. So if you just send me a message there, we want to abbreviate it down to just the capital, just the initials, but unfortunately Instagram wouldn't let us do it. I haven't seen it for ages as well, to be fair. That's it, Una. Welcome, Una. Thank you very much for coming. You told me outside, Una. There we go. I'd say Una might have had a drink or two. But that's fine. It's good. It'll make us far funnier. No, ladies and gents, I'm in a great mood. I'm in a really, really good mood. I sold something on Facebook Marketplace for the first time. Made a nice little profit. Yeah. Bike shed, 300,000. It was good. If you don't know what that's referring to, like what moron would spend 300,000 on a bike shed? The answer is the people in charge.
It was 375.
375. Una's going to be fact checking me all night like she's Donald Trump. It's good. No, it's great. I'm fascinated by politics in general, Irish politics. A lot of all the political groups in Ireland are trying to get teenagers into politics, except for Sinn Féin, who are trying to get politicians out of teenagers. I'm going to write a joke about Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael as well. Actually, I'm just going to write one and tell it twice. I've got some jokes about independence, or as they're called in Kerry, the Healy Rays. I don't think it's actually fair to call them independents. There's 6 of them. They're just a political party that are called the Healy Rays. You can't beat the Healy Rays, but if you go to the wrong chip van, they'll beat you. Sorry, that's one of those jokes that you gotta go back, Google, and then you can DM me telling me how funny it is. That's good. It normally kills in Kerry, just like the Healy Rays. But I haven't. It was just a brutal beating over some fish and chips. No, it's great. I'm fascinated by politics. I have to say, ladies and gents, if you see a comic and they get up here and then they forget their lines, or if they stumble over the words, or even if they look like they're about to die up here, please bear with them. That could just be their Joe Biden impression. I had a bit about bombing excessively, but I was told not to mention the Israel conflict, so so I have one. I'm not going to use it just yet. I am fascinated by the entire political thing, especially American politics. They're so damn quotable, Even as Irish people, we know the quotes from American presidents. So you think back to Franklin D. Roosevelt. The D stands for Delano, by the way. So. Educational and mildly funny. But his most famous quote, is you have nothing to fear but fear itself. And pagers you buy from Israeli. Okay, that's the last one. No more. That was my one and only. Then you have, of course, John F. Kennedy. Do you know what the F stands for? It's Fitzgerald, because he's Irish. Yeah, no, it wasn't Fucker. They didn't, surprisingly, they didn't name John Fucker O'Callaghan. That's my name. Baby it is, right? Yeah, that's good. No, it's John F. Kennedy, so the F stands for Fitzgerald, and his most famous quote is, "Ask not what you can do for your country, ask what your country can do for you." Yeah, Una's just going to be helping me out all night, thank you very much. But ask not what your country can do for you, ask, what is it again, Una? Help me out?
I don't know.
No, you knew a minute ago.
Ask not for what you can do for your country, but what your country can do for you.
That's literally the opposite of what it is. I know.
I never claim to be a politician. I just think you're cool, right? I just want to be your friend.
You're all right, Una. I don't care what anyone else says about you. I think you're lovely.
You be my friend.
We're already besties. We'll be good friends. No, it's ask not what you can do. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Yeah, sorry. That's his most famous quote. Obviously, his second most famous quote was, "Is there someone up in that library tower?" Yeah. Yeah. I had a comedian, he said, he's turned into a conspiracy theorist, and he goes, you should say, is that someone on the grassy knoll? And I was like, I bet you didn't like taking the COVID vaccine. That was a weird volume change there. And then finally, of course, we've got the most, well, not the most recent president, you've got Donald J. Trump, and the J stands for Jesus, what's he going to say next? Yeah, listen, you can say what you want, he's very quotable. Most recently, the one he came out was, they're eating dogs. But that's not my favorite quote from Donald Trump. My favorite quote from Donald Trump is, grab him by the pussy. That's good. I didn't say it. I mean, well, I did say it, but he said it originally. I like it as a quote because when eventually they make him into a character in Mortal Kombat, they have his finishing move. So if you play Mortal Kombat or you like fingering, that works for you. Yeah, it's no. He was the most powerful person in the world for 4 years. You know, 4 years. When Melania was giving him a blowjob, she was the most powerful person in the world.
Sure, doesn't he have another 4 years coming?
That's it. Yeah, 4 more years. Fingers crossed, because it's just such a right barrier for making jokes. No, it was. You know, he was the most powerful person in the world. He had all the nuclear, the nuclear codes. You know, he had the nuclear codes. To be honest, if a man has, you know, the nuclear codes, and you have his cock in your mouth, then you have the nuclear codes. You know? For however long that blowjob lasts. How long do your blowjobs normally last, sir?
7 minutes.
You give blowjobs for 7 minutes. I don't know if that's really good or bad. You know? Is that a good one or a bad one? I don't know. It's a nice round number, we'll say that. No one's tried to shoot Michael D. Higgins, but he's got 1 more year in office, so I still have time. I don't know if you get arrested for that. It was, you know, for one thing, Michael D. Higgins is half the size, so he'd be twice as hard to hit, so I don't know if I'm bothered.
What about Leo?
What about Leo? Leo's not even the Prime Minister anymore, the Taoiseach anymore, like.
I know, yeah, but he thinks he's cool.
Are you just a homophobe, is that it? Like,
oh yeah, 100%.
there we go, we'll just kill Leo. Why? It's just... no, we'll leave Leo alone. Tell you what, we won't shoot any Irish politicians.
He's an immigrant, like.
There we go. Way to make it awkward. No, that was We'll get onto that in a minute. It was before that interesting statement from our audience member. Yeah, it was. Where were we doing? Oh yeah, shooting him. There's no point in shooting Michael D. Higgins, to be very honest, because despite what Conor McGregor says, Conor McGregor believes the Irish president has less power than a recently updated iPhone. So. There'd be no power points. It's, you know, speaking of power, seamless transition, I'm actually an engineer by trade. I'm very pro-nuclear power. I think it's its only benefits. If you built a nuclear power plant up by Dublin, I mean, it would power the entire place. There's only benefits. You know, it's clean energy, it's very cheap energy, very efficient. You know, if it blew up, it would take Dublin with it. You know, it's literally no downside at all. No? Yeah, you know, people come to Ireland, and you know, Ireland's famous worldwide, you know, especially rural Ireland, for its friendly people, you know, and its beautiful scenery. And if I meet tourists and they're sick of those two things, I say you should check out Dublin. That is none of those things. Yeah, you like this next one actually, Una. Dublin's like a shitter, more expensive Dublin. Una, this joke is for you. Come on. You like this one. It's slightly racist.
I was apologizing.
Apology accepted. I know. Dublin's like a shitter, more expensive London, but with less Irish people. That was it. And to be clear, the lack of, you know, traditional stereotypical Dublin males is a positive thing, because, you know, most Dublin males can be divided into either wannabe McGregors or people who think they're better than you because they played Soggy Biscuit with Brian Driscoll. Yeah. Is anyone unsure about what Soggy Biscuit is?
No, we know what Soggy Biscuit is.
I would love an explanation.
Is there hands up who doesn't know what Soggy Biscuit is?
Demonstration.
So Soggy Biscuit, it's a game that's normally associated with rugby teams, okay? And the idea is that a load of men stand around a biscuit and masturbate.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, and the last one to ejaculate has to eat the biscuit. Now, I gotta say,
I didn't want to know that.
to be honest, the explanation after the fact was a bit of a mouthful, and if you play with a full rugby team, so is the biscuit. Yeah. Anyone play for a Tralee rugby team, by the way? Anyone here from the Tralee rugby team? No? They're out buying some digestives, I suppose. Yeah. Hobnobs, I don't know what they are. Yeah, it's, where was I? Oh, yes, that was Soggy Biscuit. Oh, yeah, Conor McGregor. He actually wants Ireland for the Irish, but he can't speak any Irish. And I'm sure, as like many other Irish people inside here, they're thinking, yes, I learned it for 14 years, and if you want me to write a postcard to someone overusing the word as fast as the wind multiple times, I can do that, but I can't speak it either. So our Irish is pretty limited. But anyone here go to Irish college? Shanna? Oh yeah. For those of you who are unaware what Irish college is, I know you're probably unaware. It's kind of a summer school that middle class parents send their children to, just to get away from the little brats. You know? Like just to get some time away. I was sent 3 times. And honestly, it doesn't help you. I don't actually speak any Irish at all. The only Irish I came away with from Irish college was Gavneshkel Bawalat Fingering. Yeah, I had a pretty good time. It was good, and Conor McGregor was approached by an Irish journalist and asked a question in Irish, and he responded with the only Irish that we all actually know. So ladies and gents, sing this with me. An will Cadigum. Thank you very much, Una, saying thank you or please at the end. There we go. Some people don't say much of the holiday, so it's good. That is, for those people, in Irish, the first thing you learn is, can I go to the toilet, please? Which is effectively useless as an adult. When are you ever going to use I do use it now and again because I go to a dominatrix in the Guelph.
My sister just said for the 7-minute blowjob you might use it.
Can I go for a pee? Well, your sister's into water sports. I mean, that's good to go. That's right. I can go on the dating profile. Irish is an interesting one. We have that. I should have asked. Is there anyone from Dublin here? No, I left my phone out earlier and it was there when I came back, so I kind of knew. It was any Australians in the audience? No? I was hoping to get some breakdancing lessons. It's a pity. Yeah, it's weird the stereotypes about Australians, that they've got a new stereotype that they're bad at dancing. But traditionally, back in the day, the majority of Australians were what? Aboriginals is the correct answer. Good stuff. Yeah. Wankers. I mean, some of them were nice. Although before that, kangaroos is a good answer. I'm going to use that. That's good. They were. A lot of them came from criminal stock, but they're terrible people to commit a crime with. As I know from experience, but mostly because you think, well, all their ancestors all came from criminals, so they'd be good at crime. But then you remember that all their ancestors were criminals who got caught, so they were terrible. They were all the Irish ones who got caught. All the good criminals in Ireland who didn't get caught moved to Dublin. So that was it. Yeah, I'm going to do some proud work, ladies and gents, but I'm not going to ask you. I'm not going to ask you, what your job is. I think you can tell a lot about someone based on what they do for work. If they're a social worker, they're clearly a very caring person. If they're an engineer, they're probably good at maths. If they're a Garda, they were probably bullied in school. Any Gardaí here tonight, ladies and gents? They would say that. Okay. Was that a very Gardaí cough? We have. I think you're pissing up against that door, sir. Oh, sorry, Garda.
They're undercover. Don't get them caught.
That's it. No, they're probably undercover. You're right. But hey, listen, if someone's at the bar and they're drinking Guinness Zero, they're either an undercover cop or a recovering alcoholic. Yeah. Either way, they'll ruin the buzz of the party. So yeah, you don't want them there. What I'm going to do, ladies and gents, I'm going to ask you what your name, and then we'll all applause. And then I'm going to ask you what superpower you would like to have. Okay? But there's a new rule to this, and I do this every week. You're not allowed to say the power of flight. Okay? Everyone says it. People's obsession with the power of flight is the reason that guy from One Direction just died. That's going on YouTube. Yeah, there we go. People are like, oh, it's too soon. Well, thanks to TikTok, you won't remember it next week. So I gotta do it. So we'll move on. So, sir, the guy who daubed in his mate earlier on. What's your name, sir?
Sean.
Sean. Round of applause for Sean, ladies and gents. Excellent stuff, Sean. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Sean, if you could have any superpower, what would it be?
I know I don't want to be questioned when I call up work sick.
Honestly, you don't want to be questioned if you're gonna just tell him you've got diarrhea, man. That's like, no one asks for further details there. Have you not figured that? It's like, I've got the shits. No one's like, tell me more.
Infinite sick days.
Infinite sick days. So cancer. Jesus. Well, yeah, infinite sick days. Alright, Sean, listen, you gave me an answer. Very juice. Sorry, miss, what's your name? Clodagh. Round of applause for Clodagh. Excellent stuff. So, Clodagh, if you could have any superpower, what would it be? Teleportation. Yeah, just can't drive, can you? No. Yeah. You have these are all easily solvable things with like products you can buy as well. Like, even flight. Go to fucking Ryanair, you know what I mean? No, okay, teleportation. Miss, what's your name? Noreen, if you could have any superpower, what would you want?
To read people's minds.
Alright, you think your husband's cheating on you?
No, if he was anyway.
Would you? Oh, you know, ignorance is bliss. Una's been stretching. You can see her limbering up for this answer. If you could have
I've
any...
been waiting my turn patiently.
You have indeed, yes, indeed. So Una, if you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Telekinesis.
Telekinesis, you just be able to lift things with your mind.
I could move anything wherever I want. Yeah.
So the foreigners out of the country, is that what you want?
No. I could move everybody in the government out of the door.
And rule with an iron
And
fist.
move in on
I personally welcome Una's iron fist rule of the country, you know. Praise Una. There we go.
Do you know what I really, really love to do? Is
Please not something racist, please not something racist.
I'd love to lift all the alcohol out of an off license without paying for it.
What's that? Of course, the legitimate superpower. Ladies and gentlemen, I like the thought that's gone on into all this, and I appreciate your answers. Thank you very much, Una. Thank you so much. Round of applause for Una. There we go. We're going to do two more, but I'm going to mix it up a tiny bit. Una's sister.
Yeah, Una's sister is different.
My whole life has gone by.
Different question for you, Una's sister. Different questions for you. If you had to murder someone, how would you do it?
How would I do it?
Yeah.
I tell her.
You tell her she just knows people, as Una's connected.
What do you think I just do it for you? Like?
No, how would I do someone?
Or would you kill me?
Probably straight to their face.
Straight to the face. Just like a... Okay. It's gonna like to get a hand motion.
I don't do anything by accident. Like.
No. You don't be for manslaughter.
Faster!
Yeah, you want murder one like. You want to know they meant it. Just look in their eyes, okay?
No, I want them to know I meant it.
Yeah, that's it. I'm sorry. What's your name, Miss? Nelsie? Nelsie, okay. Different question. If you had to hide a body, how would you do it? I'm asking for a friend. It's good you don't have one locked in. It's like, well, I got a spot picked out. Yeah.
Burn it.
Burn it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Perfectly legitimate answer. There's no wrong answers when it comes to murder and
Nancy, I
killing
can
people.
help. Don't worry. You can do this.
Ladies and gents, are you properly warmed up? Yeah, I suppose so. Ladies and gents, can a big round of applause? Are you ready for the next first comedian? Ladies and gents, big round of applause, big welcome for the excellent, hilarious Graham Kennedy!
How are you all doing? I'm going to be the first person up here to ask you that tonight, just prepare your answers. Pretty young crowd, I'm sure we all have TikTok, yes? I have TikTok as well. Does anyone watch Hurricane Milton on TikTok? What's going on? You can find literally TikTok, you get any information you want. I followed this whole thing religiously. So, Hurricane Milton, the first video I seen was this girl, and she said, I'm not going to let some guy called Milton take everything that I worked so hard for. And like, people think that Milton isn't a scary name, because it's pretty odd, like, Sean, she sounds pretty tame. But there was a Milton in the 1950s, and he was a serial killer. There was a Milton in 1980, probably the most prolific serial killer in Zimbabwe. Like, people think it's not a scary name, but I haven't seen an update video, so obviously he got to her too. And there was people that wouldn't evacuate, and they wouldn't evacuate, but they would write their child's name on their arm in permanent marker so they could be identified. That's not the joke, that's fucked up. What was so hard about just loading up the car and leaving it there? Then you had the other people that wouldn't evacuate, and it's because their belief was that the hurricane was created with a machine by the government so that people wouldn't go to vote. Americans are just retarded. Like, first you have Elon Musk jumping up and down at a Trump rally like it's a Taylor Swift concert. Now this. I mean, what's next? A woman is president. I seen these leaks that came out of our campaign camp, and it's that she's drunk all the time. Is that really what they want as the face of their country? I lightweight. Does anybody here smoke? Any smokers? Yeah, it's good. I smoke here too. I know there was one quiet stoner in the room that didn't want to go, smoke what? I can see one in the back that they did. But yeah, it's the images and pictures on tobacco pouches. I don't even know what to say about them. Like, you have one, and it's, if you smoke while pregnant, you may harm your baby. I can't help but take offense to that because I think I turned out fine. And then you have another one, and it's cigarettes are addictive. So is cocaine, but I don't see my dealer. You know? And then another one is infertility. If you smoke, you're more likely to be infertile. Sound? I don't know fucking kids anyway. You know? Like, to be honest, I'm a firm believer, right? We're not in a cost of living crisis. We're in a cost of childbearing crisis. Fuck that, man. Fuck that. And like, one of the reasons I couldn't have kids is Omegle. So I remember Omegle. Everyone remembers Omegle. Oh, clearly Una does. Come on, I know you're all scared to admit it. We all went on Omegle, people. Right? The reason I couldn't have kids is because of Omegle. Because Omegle started out so innocent. You could meet strangers online, you could become friends with them, and like everything else, it was ruled by creepy old men. Like, to be honest, why can't you just have a normal conversation with someone, get their contact details, and then send them a random dick pic like the rest of us? And like, if you went on Omegle, you know what ASL means? Does anyone know what it means?
Yeah.
Go on, Una, go on.
Age, sex, location.
Age, sex, location, exactly, yeah. And like, that's the thing, they didn't even care what your name was. They just wanted to know how old you were. You could have been 14, they didn't give a fuck. Yeah? And like, somehow they managed to put in text message. I don't know how they managed to figure this out. But then, like, there was one time, and I managed to ask ASL before he did, so I lied about my location, and he was like, oh, you should come to this party. And I'm like, yeah, you just need to pretend you're Justin's friend and we're all away. Now I'm thinking, I could have mean too, P. Diddy, like. And yeah, look, I don't have kids, so what it is me and my girlfriend were dinks. Double income, no kids is what dink means. And like, my girlfriend, she works in a bar, and I work in housing and education, which is just a fancy way of saying I'm a bricklayer. Like, working on a building site, you get slagged a lot. Like, when I told my boss that I was going to be doing this, he said, well, look, at least you get paid to make people uncomfortable. The funniest part about that joke is I'm actually up here making you all uncomfortable for free. And like, I was going to make a joke about health and safety, but it already is one. That didn't get a laugh last week. I'm going to keep that one. The hardest thing about finding people in my job is you can't really find experienced workers. Like, any of the experienced workers you do find, they all look like they just came out of jail. And it's because they did fight them. So, like, you have Dave, the serial offender, who, in fairness, he knows what he's doing, just keep him away from sharp objects. And then you have all these new fellas coming in, and they actually have to Google how to use a drill. Like, one fella wears a Fitbit, and the other one wears an ankle monitor. Two very different words, like. Thank you very much, lads.
Keep it going for Graham Kennelly, ladies and gents! Excellent stuff. Great, I'm actually glad. There's some spaces up here if anyone wants to sit down. There's 2 spots here. You are going to be quite close to me. I am conscious I've got pretty bad dandruff, so just be warned. Yeah, my wife says that when we have sex, it's like she's in a snow globe. To be fair, I keep her in a glass cage. Go for it.
Can I come join you?
Yeah. The Netflix TV show You is actually about me. So that's a dad joke. If your dad was Joseph Fritzl. So yeah, it was. I actually get some royalties from the show. Not much money, but enough to keep me in chloroform and Windex. I think I built up enough goodwill, so I'm about to cut that down. So right now I'm working as a lecturer. Before that I was a teacher, and before that I was an officer in the British Army. Hold your applause, please. Yeah, I know. If you listen very carefully, you can hear a blade being sharpened. That's good. I feel like a gay guy coming out in the Middle East. I went to Afghanistan in 2015, and to be clear, sorry, I'm pro-United Ireland. I'm just in a unique position where I have to clarify as a republic, otherwise people get somewhat worried. And where was I? Oh yeah, back to Afghanistan, which was what they said in America. I know it was, actually, they asked me when I joined the army, do you have any family connections? And I said no, but I did, because the British Army actually burned down my granny's house. When I joined the British Army, are people familiar with what a dynamo is? Do you know people know? So back in they used to be on bikes. So as I said, funny, mildly funny, very educational. So dynamos convert rotational energy into electrical energy. Not everyone's learned of it today. And when I joined the British Army, they actually attached one of those to my granny's leg. And as she turned in her grave, she powered 5 houses. Yeah.
Wow.
It was, it was really helpful. My parents were somewhat concerned. They were like, do the Protestants call you a Tague? Do the English people call you Paddy when you're over there? And I said no, because they had to call me sir, which was good. That makes me laugh. It was, Afghanistan was, it was interesting. It was interesting but pointless. So in many ways, it was like an arts degree. It was. We were, I realize now that my granny. Just to be clear, my granny survived the burning, no harm. She went on to have 11 kids. That's going to be pertinent for a next joke. But I know that the whole point of this that Afghanistan was an absolute shambles, especially the pullout. Biden said that actually there were no casualties, but there were. Biden's pullout game was worse than my granddad, and he had 11 kids. So, I'll tell that better next time. But for now, I think we've got someone who's never done stand-up before. Is he aware he's coming up? So, ladies and gents, please make some noise. Make a load of noise. Enough noise to kill the time before I find out his name. Let's keep it going. Ladies and gents, make some noise for Nathan Flood!
I knew you forgot my name.
What was it again?
Hello everyone, Ayuna. I was gonna back on her unless I flop like you knew that was so shit. I basically took this spot because my friend Ryan here, he's gonna be coming up next. I'm his best friend ever. Basically, I'm going to tell you a very quick story. That's it. And I was on the phone with Ryan today, and I'll tell you later on. But I was on the phone. I was on the way here tonight, and I said, "Hey, Ryan, how you doing? Sexy? How you doing, Nathan? How you doing?" I said, "I'm on the way." Oh, no problem. And this guy behind me, who was actually walking me, no, never mind. You know what? I'm going to stop right now because I forgot. I'll be right back. In my house. Yeah. And where'd you go? Cool. Maybe if I shake my hands around, I'm gonna. It's a good thing you're all fucking naked. So I came on to. Can you, bar lady? Yeah. Can you, do I just walk back here or?
Did you want to sip?
Yeah, please.
I'll pay you later.
Brazil?
Where are you from?
Wait.
Spain.
Okay, so I'll get to it. Don't you worry. Where is it?
Madrid?
Madrid. What's your name?
Martina.
Martina. My aunt's Martina. I live my. Yeah. Huh? Oh? She's Spanish.
No, I'm from Spain, but I'm not Spanish.
No, my aunt. I'm not paying you overtime. Okay? Tranquilo.
Tranquila.
See. Okay, so my story about Ryan, he'll be up after me. My story about Ryan is. Okay.
Can I get that?
Una! Oh, okay, Christ, thank you. I'm so glad you're here. The pressure is lifted now. Una's here, I can relax. My heart's beating so much. What
love you.
Thank you. You tried to make friends with me earlier on at the bar, didn't you?
Yeah, I know, but you didn't like me much.
No, it's because, you know, at one point you'd have to say to yourself, I'm not willing to put my mask on today. And you did, unfortunately, catch me at that point, so I'm sorry for that. I'm not rude.
No,
I'm just nervous.
We can still be friends.
Mm.
Estás mi amigo.
I don't speak Spanish.
No, España. No, but never mind.
Yeah. Okay, breaking bad. So my story about Ryan is that wait, I haven't told him yet. I'll tell you after when you come on after, so you can know the story, so I don't spoil it. So I'm leaving the house. I'm on the way to see Ryan tonight. He said, "Oh, do you mind getting cool." So I'm leaving my estate, and I call Ryan, and there's a guy in front of me who works in TLI, which I'm about to do a course for. So for English class, I'll be giving you guys internet. So I'm leaving the house. I call Ryan. I'm like, "Hey Ryan, I'm gonna leave now." Sorry, man. I go, "Hey man, that's it. That's the joke. That's the joke. Good joke." Yeah. Oh, thank God you guys are here. I'll pay you extra later. Una, you working overtime tonight, so just Ryan's coming up. Let him get through it. I love you also, as anything. Okay. So I'm leaving the house, and I call Ryan. And I say, "Hey man," and the guy in front of me, who's getting out of his car to go back into home, turns around and says, "Oh hey man." It's not for you. Not talking to you. So, yeah, that's it.
If you would be talking to your girlfriend, for example.
I have an ex.
Name Martina.
Martina, not my aunt. Did you not listen to my bit?
Imagine saying to your girlfriend or to your mother.
No.
That I love
You have that one. You saw my friends.
No, yeah. I forgot, sorry.
And we buy you a drink to make you remember.
Apparently, there's a comedian drink per. Yeah?
Oh, you get it for free, dude.
I'm a
You're
comedian.
special.
Thank you. Alright, that's it.
Ladies and gents, a big round of applause for Nathan Flood! I'm just gonna cut through all the weird sexual tension that's up here. It's just been built up there. I won't be taking any of your free drinks. Wording, if you're almost the same height as me when I'm standing on this. So worrying. Yeah, ladies and gents, I'm having a bit of
Go to Yana.
it is not the time to do Duolingo. Just in your own time there. No, ladies and gents, I'm having a bit of a quandary in terms of my religious belief. I thought, if God was real, he wouldn't have let those pedophile priests get caught. He wouldn't. If God was real, he or she, in fact, I can't misgender God because they don't exist. It was interesting enough. I like many Irishmen, got their sex education off a priest. Seriously, I imagine the majority can just a quick who else got their sex ed off a priest? There we go. Some other stellar lovemaker back there who got all the right pointers. Basically, the main gist of my sex ed was just wash your cock, which is pretty good advice. I think we can all agree that. I think all the ladies in here can agree that's great advice. Yeah, you don't want to get a yeast infection. Yeah. No, getting sex ed off a priest is like getting meat eating advice off a vegetarian. If there were loads of rumors that the vegetarian really liked the taste of lamb, Good, I'm glad lamb worked. I went with veal before because it's even sicker, but a lot of Irish people are like, what the fuck is veal? But lamb, baby lamb, gotcha. Yeah, that just works. I actually, do people remember COVID?
Yeah.
Good, because if you don't, that's actually one of the signs of long COVID. If you can't remember it, there's a recent study that said you're 400% more likely to get long COVID if you didn't like your job. And we're fucking lazy. So I'm sure someone's like, I got long COVID. And I'm like, I really don't believe you. It was, but it destroyed a lot of businesses. It really wiped out a lot of businesses. It killed my friend's business, John. And basically, his business collapsed. He needed some money, and it was quite sad. And I've known John for ages. We went to school together. We were altar boys together. He was a groomsman at my wedding as well. So I've known him for absolutely ages. And he came to me looking for a loan. And I remember saying, I think this might be a bad idea. So I asked my dad for advice. I said, never lend to a friend. It will ruin a friendship. It will make it super awkward. So what you do is, you get him to do something for you, and you pay him. You don't get him to do a job and pay him. It's not awkward at all. So I was like, actually, that makes sense. So I got him to do something for me. Didn't see him for 2 weeks, and I saw him last week. It was still awkward. He did give a good blowjob though. Yeah. I'm sure when I said earlier on, I was like, when I mentioned I was an altar boy, people were like, oh no, he's gonna say he was sexually abused as a child. But I'm not, because I, like 99% of all altar boys, can keep a secret. Ladies and gents, please make some noise for the last comic of the night, the amazing Ryan Thompson!
How are we doing? Keep going, Larry. Your first time, what's the Kerry? Fucking unbelievable. But I'm glad you're doing alright. I'm doing okay, thanks. Thanks for asking. It's because the haircut as well, yeah.
I suppose so.
But,
Glad you're okay.
yeah, thank you. But I'm in this kind of awkward position at the moment. I'm looking for a job, and it's frustrating me. I'm very annoyed at it because I'll be scrolling through my phone and I'm trying to get something in my field. Do you think I can find anything in my field?
What's your field?
Nothing. I'm keeping that vague on purpose. Sorry, I didn't pay my respects to you.
I think you're awesome.
Thank you. But I couldn't find anything, so I said, you know what, I'm going to try something new. So you know what, we'll see some entry-level jobs here, right? See what they got going. I was flicking through the job search, and I was like, this one seems good. Flick down, training on the job, great benefits, fantastic. But 1 to 2 years experience required. And I was like, okay, this company's kind of up their own hole. That's fine, grand, I'll go down to the next one, entry level. All the bells and whistles you want, training on the job, fantastic, I'm here for that.
1 to 2 years experience. I was thinking, oh, all right, it's a bit of a trend. Every single one of them wants 1 to 2 years of experience. Where the fuck am I getting that? You know, is there some sort of foundation level fucking job that I'm unaware of? And if so, where are they hiding it? Because, give me the job. But yeah, I was looking through the jobs, and it's funny because like there's certain professions that there's hundreds of these jobs. If you're qualified, I mean, if I could throw my shoe off, and if I was qualified to get the job, something like care house workers, nurses, preschool teachers, all them, hundreds of jobs, unbelievable. But for me, I'm not quite suited to those jobs. They're kind of more female-orientated jobs. And before anyone says anything, and I can hear it already. Oh, but Ryan, I have a friend called Tim, and he's a male nurse. I'll retort and say, Tim's a homosexual. Your mate, closet or no, he's the exception, not the rule. So that's the way it works, But no, I can't blame people for not taking those jobs. They're very hard. You have to be caring, you have to be nurturing, you have to be patient, you have to be loving, Jesus Christ. I can't blame them for not taking the job. They have to go further afield for better opportunities. Some are going to Australia, some are going to Canada, most of them OnlyFans. It's like if you're going through jobs, it's like, oh, can I do this difficult job for long hours and shit pay, or will I flash my bum hole? I can see the appeal. And I'll be honest with you, I had a moment of weakness, and I decided that I'll do the job application for OnlyFans. Cheeky fucking bastards turned around and goes, you need 1 to 2 years experience before taking the fucking job. I mean, where am I getting that? Where am I getting that fucking 1 to 2 years experience? Is there a foundation level job? I don't fucking know, it's unbelievable. But anyone here putting their hopes and dreams on their CV still? No, why hopes and dreams? Sorry, I mean interests and hobbies. Okay, brilliant. We were taught that in school. It was a big part of the CV creating process, But if you still do it, you're a fucking idiot. You are, and I'll tell you why in a minute. There's no way, no how, no chance am I telling a future employer what I like to do in my free time. No way. I can see it now. It's like, oh, Sean, you like to play Sunday League soccer with your boys, don't you? No, any fucking more you don't. You're here with me every fucking Sunday. I own you now, bitch. I like to believe that every future employer is kind of Hannibal Lecter, Hello, Clarice. I like to see that you like to take pictures of the sunrise and your long walks on the beach. Not when I'm through with you. That's a bit creepy, That was a little bit creepy. Like, unless someone like Diddy's your employer. But, like, as an audience, as a community, as a people, I think we need to agree that we need to get rid of the fucking hobbies and interests on our CVs. I think we should all agree on this now. If we agree on it, fucking round of applause. Just fucking get rid of it. Get fucking rid of it. Just don't do it. Do yourself a favour. I've been Ryan Thompson. You've been a fantastic audience. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gents, big round of applause for Ryan Thompson! Excellent stuff. Ladies and gents, I will say jokes are like Ryan Thompson. Most will never work. Yeah. Ladies and gents, I'll finish off with a story. I actually lived in Peru for 2 years before I arrived into Kerry. Just moved in January there. And I was there for 2 years. I'll give you my, people ask what was Peru like, and I'll give you my response in like a Yelp style review. Beautiful weather, delicious food. I got drugged and kidnapped, 4.5 stars, out of 5, it was good, and to be clear, that happened at the end of the first year. I legitimately got drugged and kidnapped, and I stayed there for another year afterwards. The food was that good.
also, the fuckers took $9,000, so I had to keep working there. So, yeah. Are people aware of the TV show and the Margaret Atwood book, Handmaid's Tale? People, Handmaid's Tale? So, if you're not familiar, the book and the TV series concept is about women who were kidnapped and then forcefully impregnated. And I'm not bringing that up because that's what the Peruvians tried with me. I mean, I was drugged, who knows? Let's just say that dog would be barking up the wrong orifice. But no, the reason that I bring this up is because it was Halloween, so the 31st of October, and I was in fancy dress. And fancy dress normally makes most things better, like parties, not kidnappings, it has to be said. So I was dressed head to toe as a handmaid from Handmaid's Tale. So I had a red dress and a red cloak and a white bonnet. And you might be thinking, Jim, is Halloween big in Peru? It is not. It is not a thing in Peru. So when I was watching after the following day, when I went to the police station, and I was watching with my non-existent Spanish, so I have hola, buenos dias, ¿qué tal? And that's pretty much it. Nada más, por favor. It was one of those ones, and I mean, I'll give you the rough translation. So I'm gonna go through the actual conversation I had with the policeman. So we go in and, I'll tell you what the actual meaning and what he actually meant. Okay? So we're watching the CCTV, and he goes, "Who?" And that normally means you, but in this scenario, it means, are you wearing a fucking red dress, red cloak? And then it's like, and I go, sí, which means yes. And then he goes, ¿por qué? Which normally means why, but in this case, why the fuck are you walking through Lima wearing a red dress at night? A red dress, red cloak in a hat. And I said, no sé. Which normally means I don't know, but in this scenario meant I do not have sufficient Spanish to explain what the fuck is going on. And also, it was a bad idea. It was one of those. It was interesting as well because at the end he goes, there's a lot of kidnapping going on, and I was like, yeah, if only there was some organization whose job it was to stop that. It was like, it's like a chef coming out to the front of a restaurant and goes, a lot of hungry people here. Or if you were a UN peacekeeper and saying there's a lot of war crimes going on here. Sorry, that's 2 Israel jokes. I just can't help myself. It's just so funny. Ladies and gents, I will say, can I get a big round of applause for all the comics here tonight? And a big round of applause for yourselves, especially Una. We really appreciate it. Excellent round member. We do enjoy everyone we do. I'll leave you on this, ladies and gents. Open mic comedy nights are like an orgy, where the comics, whether they're male or female, are like the men of an orgy. And the audience members are like the females of an orgy. In that we are really glad you're here. We really appreciate you being here. And if you weren't here, we'd just be like, should we practice on each other? Ladies and gents, I've been Jim O'Callaghan. You've been great. I've been alright. Good night.